what are the exact infrastructure gaps that we're trying to shore up? Because you mentioned that basically over the past 30 years, give or take, we've kind of been offshoring all of this. So like, what are the core areas that they're trying to shore up with it? And just like, what is your perspective broadly on what really needs to happen if the U.S. does intend to secure its supply chains and, become more, I guess you'd say, independent?
There's kind of the physical gaps, especially kind of in the middle, but really throughout the entire value chain. And then there's the kind of commercialization gaps as well for the technology. So it's kind of twofold, right? So like on the physical side, like the US essentially has almost no domestic capacity for refining, separating most of these critical minerals. Like almost all of that is in China. We're missing battery recycling plants, even systems, just basic systems for industrial byproduct recovery. We just don't have those integrated systems at these industrial facilities, whether those are like mines or other industries. The Chips and Science Act under Biden was intended to onshore a lot of this semiconductor manufacturing, but we don't have the capability to produce a lot of the critical minerals and materials here. So there's just like a big gap in physical infrastructure. On the kind of commercialization gap, they're missing these mid-scale plants that are between the lab and full commercial plants that really are able to prove out these new recovering and recovery and processing technology. So you'll note that a lot of these notices of intent are around pilot and demonstration facilities, which are targeting that exact gap.
This technology kind of exists out there a lot, but it's mostly bench scale. It's a very, very small amount, and there needs to be demonstrations to get it to that next level, which can then go to commercial scale.
In various stages of applied R&D, and some of it has been piloted, but I would say most of it is not ready for prime time. The other thing I guess I would mention is that obviously with the whole like industrial and innovation ecosystem, it's not just kind of the physical materials, but it's also like the technical expertise and education
Mm.
and all of this. So like these also represent investments in workforce and in education and R&D, right? You're involving these universities, you're having these, you're involving national labs, you're involving all these different partners, some nonprofit research institutions as well, and others. And so it is certainly not as much as the Biden administration focused on this, but there are some elements of starting to invest in those infrastructure gaps as well, soft infrastructure gaps.